It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Tyrone Lowe.
Hello, everyone. This is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends, and I'm your host today. And we have the legendary Jessica Williams. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you.
You know, it's such an honor to have you on my show, Ben, because your resume is like really out of this world. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the viewers about how you actually got started singing. Now, we know that you are one of 10 children, so we're going to take it from there.
All right. Yeah, I'm from a family of 10. My whole family, singers. My father, my mom, my mother played the piano, and my father was a guitar player, and five of us, and I was the youngest to be in the group called the Jones Singers. And we started from there, and my brother left the group, and he became one of the Mighty Clouds of Joy. And so that's how that started. I started back in church. Everybody starts in church, I guess. And I'm one of them. So what we did was travel around. We did gospel music in different churches. And then from there on, I kind of left when I got married and moved to Santa Barbara, California. So we started a group. I started a group with 3 more other girls in Santa Barbara. So we did a lot of club dates down there. So we decided we wanted something bigger. So I moved, and the other girl that was in the group, who was not married, also moved to Los Angeles. And that's how I became a singer from Los Angeles. She made a phone call. And actually, it was a phone call to Motown. She was calling someone else, and it ended up being the guy at Motown. And so he said, "So you guys are singers?" We was like, "Yeah, we're singers." So he said, "Well, what kind of stuff did you do?" So we ended up going there, and this was Hal Davis. Hal Davis had the Jackson 5. And he had us coming up. We went up and we auditioned, and he started grooming us. You know, everything was at 12 o'clock midnight. All of the sessions was 12 o'clock midnight. So everybody would meet up. And he was in the creative department with Suzanne DePass and Tony Jones. And then Barrett was the one that would write the checks and stuff out. So we ended up at Motown, had an audition, and we got it. Suzanne signed us up. It was called Jesse and Helen, which it didn't work out. The other girl got pregnant. So she ended up going on being a police officer. So I stayed at Motown doing background sessions and things with Hal Davis. And that's when I met all of the stars. It was from Thelma Houston also did some of her stuff.
Yeah, you know, and that's quite amazing. Yeah, and you know what, not to cut you off, but that's quite amazing, because I've been playing Thelma Houston for years, and I had no idea that you was actually singing background for her, and also singing background for Diana Ross on Love Hangover.
Diana Ross demo. I did a lot of demos for Diana Ross. See, Hal Davis was, he was like the unsung. He didn't get a lot of props for things that he was doing, but he had all of us up there from Thelma Houston. He did, Love Hangover was on that one, and Don't Leave Me This Way, and Forever Michael, which was the Jackson 5. So I met Michael when he was like 9 years old, in the studio. He would come in the studio and Hal would come in. He'd go, "Uh-oh, here come Hal." So everybody would get real quiet and stuff. But he was a riot. But just me from Stevie Wonder and Smokey Robertson, all those guys, and the Commodores. So I was up there with that. So that didn't work out. So I ended up finishing up some classes in early childhood development. So I was at UCLA. So I got another call from a guy saying, "Hey, we got a studio. We're going to do some stuff for this guy. We call him Money. He hit his hand." So I went and did session work and end up, the guy asked me, hey, he said, his name is Simon Susan. He said, "Do you sing lead?" I said, "Of course." So that's how I started with him at Polydor Ham Records. And the first group was called Arpeggio. That song was called Love and Desire. And then after that group, they said, "Well, why don't we just give her a solo deal?" I said, "Oh, okay." So that left, I left Arpeggio, kind of left Arpeggio, but was still doing, my first single was Queen of Fools. That was my first Queen of Fools. After that, I had about 20 more singles after that. And the whole album was, it charted. The whole album from Queen of Fools charted. So that was good. So I'm still doing it. I'm still at it. And got with Rick Giannatis, and here we are now. Got 2 new singles out. I got a new one called So Good. That 24 hours a day is already out. You can see that on YouTube and stuff like that. So, and that's pretty much it. And I started doing other stuff. I married my husband, who's also a musician, who's on Arsenio Hall show and jazz. And
he was actually the bass player, right?
Bass player on Arsenio Hall show and the Doc Severn. He moved out with the Night Show from New York, where he was doing the Sesame Streets and Doc Severn. So when he moved out here, I was working with Laney Kazan. That's how I met him at the Playboy Club. So he came and subbed for another bass player, and the rest is history.
So let me ask you, as growing up as a child, before you even got with the Commodores and all the Motown, artists, who actually influenced you as an artist growing up?
Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin, and the emotions for the harmony was so beautiful. The emotions, all of those songs and things, and the harmony was beautiful. So everybody wanted to sound like the emotions when we started, doing background sessions for other people. And everybody would call certain girls that had that breathy sound and the sound that everybody wanted back then when it was recording, background sessions for other artists. So I never stopped doing other artists. I was, doing that and still traveling. I would work with some of the celebrities like Helen Reddy, who I ended up doing a remake of I Am Woman for the movie Trick.
Okay.
So I did that, and Center Stage, which we did, it was a Broadway stopper, they call it, called Friends. So I did the duet with her, and she did the duet with me on my album called A Mysterious Guy. So that was pretty, I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm doing jazz. I do jazz with my husband because he's a jazz artist. So I do stuff with him and just still working around doing stuff. And raising kids. One that keeps running in behind me, I keep waving them to go back. That's why I'm Daryl, you need to stay out of the camera. I know you're cute, but you got to stay over there, okay, and eat your lunch.
So let's tell the viewers about some of the places that you've traveled and you actually performed, and some of the experiences.
Well, Mexico City. My record company was in Mexico City also. So I got to travel Mexico City, just about every city there was, from Puerto Vallarta, Oaxaca, and Puerto Rico, all of these places there. And England, I went there, I've been to England and what else? I just say everywhere, because I've been from Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We did Backstreet, and that's where all of the singers would go, and we would leave notes for each other's on the wall. Sylvester graced the stage with me and came.
Oh, Sylvester, man! Oh, okay.
Sylvester, he was. I'm telling you, he was the queen.
That's right.
But he was so humble and so nice. So he would, if we're down in the same place, if I work Backstreet, I couldn't work the Copa. They had that going on. You work Backstreet, you can't do the Copa. So, but Sylvester could work anywhere he wanted to. So on breaks, we had like 2 and 3 hours in between shows.
Right.
You know, so they had cars and limousines for us. So I said, I want to go to the Copa. We'd go to Copa and hang out. And he came over and he got on stage with me and did one of my, you know, song with me and just a standard, you know.
Right.
We was so everybody would go like, oh, wow, you guys sing other kind of music, yeah, not just dance music. This is what's happening right now.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I still go and sing in fire, you know.
You know, I had the pleasure of seeing Sylvester at the Paradise Garage years ago, and he put on such a performance, man. And he had these two backup singers. They were called Two Tons of Fun, you know,
Yeah.
and they became, I believe after they became the Weather Girls, you know.
Yes, it's
And
raining
so-
men.
Exactly, you know. How has the scene of production changed since then to now? Have you seen how you actually experienced a transformation?
Yes, you know, now it's, you know, the record, there's no labels that, you know, not really. So most people are like doing recording and putting all of their stuff out themselves, which is okay if you're totally into it. I'm so used to people either writing songs for me and I'd go in the studio and sing it and there you go. But now you got to really be involved with the production end of it and you know, getting it out there.
Okay.
You know, getting it out there. So
All right.
that's what Ricky's doing. He's one of the old from the old school.
Okay.
You know,
well, listen, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back. And I want my viewers to stay tuned with the legendary Jessica Williams. We'll be right back.
The symptoms range broadly. Some people have very mild or minimal symptoms, and other people have more severe disease. Here in New York at Montefiore, over the last few weeks, we've treated a lot of patients with COVID-19. And our patients tell us that in the beginning, their symptoms are sometimes vague. So things like feeling very tired, having muscle aches. Some people report losing their sense of taste and smell, and others report a sore throat early on in their illness. As things progress, some people will get a fever or a cough. A lot of people feel short of breath, and some people actually get a stomach upset partway through their illness. For those people who are going to have a more severe course, that tends to happen around the 1 week mark. And so I do recommend that for those who think they have COVID-19 or know that they have COVID-19, to pay extra attention to your symptoms around that time. And if you have any concerns, then you should contact your healthcare provider to make sure that you don't need to go to a hospital.
I'm New York City Health Commissioner Oxidis Barbeau. As the city's doctor, I have an urgent plea on behalf of all New Yorkers. Stay home. When you go out, you risk contracting or spreading coronavirus to others. You put others at risk of serious illness and even death. When you do have to go out for essentials like groceries or medicine, try to keep at least 6 feet between yourself and others. By staying home, you save lives.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
Hello, everybody. This is Tyrone Lowe. We're back with the legends, and we have Jessica Williams on standby. Jessica, what's going on?
Oh, well, you know, we're trying to get past this virus that's going on now.
Have it affected you in any type of way?
Well, a little bit. I stay at home if I'm not working.
Right.
If somebody is having a show or something, before the virus started, I would go out. But now I'm staying safe. I'm pretty much staying safe. If I got to record, I'll go out and do that and come back and stand my distance. Now it's up again. So I don't pretty much go out no more unless I have to. For performing or go and see people perform. Nobody is doing anything now. So yes, it does affect me because most of my shows are canceled.
Right. Let's talk about your new single. So let's talk about how you came about, how you actually came about with that.
Well, with Rick Giannatis, he does a lot of remakes. He did a lot of Ian Levine stuff, and here goes. We did like 24 hours a day,
right? And
that was a Barbara Pennington song, which great singer. She lives in UK. Mm-hmm. So So Good was done by another artist, and it was a ballad. So Rick said, well, here's a song for you to do. So we did another song. I said, I don't normally do cover songs,
right.
But right now that's what he's into. He does a lot of cover songs, but I'm used to doing, the first caller to do, songs that have not been covered before, but they got great songs out there. So that's, but it's doing good. As soon as we just finished a video here at my house.
Right.
So we going to, as soon as he get that headed, we would put the single out with the video.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So my question to you is, now, if you've been in the business for a very long time, and they have a lot of upcoming people that's actually just starting off and trying to actually find their way, fundamentally. So do you have any suggestions for them?
Well, yeah, try to stay original as you can. Okay. And just keep moving. Do not, don't be, take it so hard when you get rejected. Because you keep going. There's just because that person rejected, there's someone else out there will just love what you're doing. And that happens for everybody in the business. Just think of my girlfriend that's in Florida, Evelyn. Mm-hmm. Evelyn Thomas.
So let's shout out to Evelyn. Let's shout out to Evelyn Thomas, because that's my girl.
I love her. She is so sweet. We get on the phone, we talk about everything. Music too. She's into doing a lot of stuff, children books and things like that. So
exactly.
She's a fun girl. She's a real fun girl. We end up on doing a lot of, some dates together when they have 2 and 3 artists on the show. They call us divas. We do. That's fun with Linda Clifford. That's good with Thelma and Debbie Jacobs and Cynthia Manley, who just passed away about a month ago. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of her stuff. I would go and do her videos and sing background. Jessica, do me some ad libs and do some ad libs. I said, well, you gonna say it's you? Yeah, do it like me. I said, no, you're gonna call me for a date. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I hear that.
Yeah, so that would, mm-hmm. And Nancy Wilson, that was my husband worked with Nancy Wilson, so she was one of my favorites, singers too, especially in jazz, stuff like that. So other than that, we just doing what we do. Artists, we just do what you do. People come at you, and if it's okay, then you do it. I got another offer to do a song in Mexico City, so you can just do and fly this in and fly that in and do this and do that, and you don't even have to be in a presence of nobody. But so it's going.
Just to be curious, you ever did any actual TV specials or any acting, that we should actually know about?
Well, I did some soap operas. I did General Hospital. I had a recurrent role on General Hospital. Mm-hmm. And one show that Linda Clifford was hosting, the Midnight Special. Remember the Midnight Special?
Oh yeah, back in the days.
Yeah,
Wolfman, with the Wolfman.
Yeah, that and all of the Soul Train shows and Even
Right.
even Dinah Shore had a show. You know, we
Okay.
did all of the Dick Clark shows. That's when we was coming up. All of that, and the Arsenio Hall show. I was the contracted for background singers on that show.
Okay.
One of the talent coordinator would call me, and you know, if they wanted a choir, I put the choir together. If they wanted 2 or 3 singers, I always would be one of the singers, of course. But I couldn't do all the choirs because the choirs was paid a certain amount of a flat fee. I just said flat fee. And if you're in the union like I am, SAG after, you can only do 1 or 2 shows, you know, that's a choir date because they have to pay you separately. So, you know,
So
all
let
of
me ask
those.
you. Let me ask you a question, Jessica. Just think about it. If you had to actually relive a moment in your career, what would that be?
Ooh, for singing?
For your career in general.
Oh, Motown.
Okay.
That's where I started out. That's where I learned my mic technique and everything, you know, and how to just perform behind a mic, you know, because that mic is intimidating if you're in there by yourself and not knowing what you're doing. And that's me. I could sing, but I didn't have a technique and mic technique. You know, certain places, certain sounds you have to get. And, you know, you don't have to scream out loud. If there's the mic, you got the AK-4 right in front of 14 right in front of you. You don't have to. You got the omni sound around you. Certain Motown was, I just said Motown. That's where I learned all my mic techniques. Yeah.
Any shout outs to anybody that you're actually thinking about right now?
Well, Linda Clifford.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Linda right now. Yeah. Hey, Linda. How you doing, coffee girl? How you doing, coffee girl? Yeah, that was her. And of course, Evelyn. You know, I love her. And Debbie Jacobs. Have you interviewed Debbie yet?
No, I haven't, but I'm sure that I probably will get a chance to.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, okay?
She's a sweetheart. And most all the girls, we all got along with each other. You know.
Well, I'm going to get in contact with Sherry. You know, she's one of the actual original Supremes, and it was suggested to me, you know, to actually get in contact with her to actually do the show because to have an actual Supreme on my show, to me, that's Supreme.
Yeah, she's a dear friend of mine too. You know, and Rick produces Sherry also.
Yes, exactly. He sent me an email and said that I should actually, you know, get with her as well. And that'd be good because the younger generation actually listening to you guys that you actually paid their way for, I think is very informative to really listen to what you guys really have to say.
Yeah.
You know, but in the meantime, in between time, we want to thank you for being on my show. And, you know, I really had a good time. And I see that you had a good time as well.
I did too. I'm not ready to go now. I'm relaxed. Now I'm ready to talk.
Well, you know, unfortunately, you know, we have to actually wrap it up. But listen, any final words?
Any final words? Yes. I want everybody to just calm down, relax, let this all pass. Because God has got us all in his hand. We all are blessed. God loves everybody and there's nothing you can do about it. We love it. I love him. I love the God. I love everybody. Get ready to shout. I talk about him, you know, when I talk about him, he comes on me and it takes a while for him to leave. So I'm going to just let him stay there for a minute.
Okay. Well, we thank you again. Yeah, we thank you again for being on the show. And viewers, this is Jessica Williams. Listen to her, Google her, listen to her new track, support it, play it. DJs, listen to it, play it. And I thank you. And viewers, this is another T-Love Video Productions. My name is Tyrone Lowe, and my show is called The Legends. And I thank you guys.
There's no greater crime than wasting your life on a boat going nowhere. When you came along, you made it safe for a love to survive. trusted in dreams. You came like I knew you would. I've been wrong before, but this feels so good. I couldn't walk by, I knew that I found was at the end of the rainbow. There's no place on earth I'd rather be than sitting right here with you. It's not done to love, I don't have to knock on wood. I've been wrong before, but this feels so good. There's no greater sin than missing your chance when it's staring right at you. That look in your eyes says everything, tells me I'm home. For once in my life, I don't feel misunderstood. I've been wrong before, but this feels so good. Night after night, it's hard to believe that I'll wake up each day next to you. Time after time, in the cold morning light, oh I know it's true. There's no greater crime than wasting your life on a boat going nowhere. When you came along, you made it safe for a love to survive. I trusted in dreams. You came like I knew you would. I've been wrong before, this time for sure. I've been wrong before, this time for sure. I've been wrong before, it feels so good. Yeah. I've been wrong before, but this feels so good.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.